Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Go Live Lounge. I'm your host, CrittyBot, and today we are talking to someone who would best be described as the queen of the quick scope in any Call of Duty lobby. Someone who is not someone I describe as toxic, but very square-laden when it comes to her gameplay. Someone who I've enjoyed a lot listening to and watching in her Twitch streams recently. A good friend of mine whose name is Kiernolabarz, or Kiernolabarz, as I think she asked me to call her. Kier, how you doing today?
Hi, I'm good.
Good.
Hanging.
I know you said you wanted to do the courteous Kier, but I want to give people more of a honest reveal as to who you are. You're someone who's a very forthright and honest individual, especially when she's streaming and gaming.
I try.
Hey, we're being honest with this one. Where it's the personality that I don't know if it's something that you would say you've groomed as being someone who is very forthright when they're playing, but I enjoy it personally. I love your personality that comes through in your game.
I do like being honest when it comes to gaming, and if people are bad at the game, I will call them out.
Hey, you know what? If you're not telling them when they're bad, how are they ever going to actually learn?
Exactly. And who else to learn from than Kiernolabarz?
Fuck yeah. That's exactly it. We don't get me wrong, being courteous is nice, but at the end of the day, we want some brutal honesty.
Yeah, exactly. And if people are bad at the game.
Exactly, and they need to be called out on it sometimes.
It's because they're stupid.
Yes, exactly. And that's stupid with a double O, correct?
Double O, yes. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yes, exactly. Oh man. So I'm sure that this personality was not exactly a day one thing for you. So why don't we go back to the beginning with you, and why don't you tell me about what made you want to start streaming?
So I've always played video games all of my life, ever since I was literally, I think, 4 years old. My first gaming system was one of those like joystick things.
Atari?
Yeah, but it was like a SpongeBob one. It is the best. If you ever come across one at like your local Goodwill, definitely a find. But so I've always played video games ever since I was younger, and it's literally been like the one consistent thing that I've had going on in my life is just being addicted to a video game, playing video games, being obsessed, what have you. And then up until 2018, because I never had internet growing up until like my later preteen years. So I was never able to online game unless I was at my grandma's house, and my uncles would let me play first-person shooters and talk to the enemies and talk to the team itself, and they always thought it was like the funniest thing. So I would get to play a lot of games when I was there. And then up in 2018, my dad got me a PlayStation because I begged him, because my ex-boyfriend at the time had one, and I'd only play games on that. And I was like, damn, like I really want my own, like because I had the PlayStation 2, I had the PlayStation 3, but I never had the PS4, so I needed it. And then around that time, I think the toxicity from him and his friends started to really piss me off, because they would always say like, oh, you can never play games like us, like you can never do this, you can never do that. Got my own, started playing, met my good friend Taylor. She's amazing. And she goes, Kier, why don't you just start streaming? Me and you could just mess around. We can just like talk to your chat. It'll be the coolest thing ever. And if it doesn't get anywhere, who cares? But you probably will, because you're a nice girl and you got a lot of potential. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to. Figured out how to do it, turned on broadcast on my PlayStation, had the pixel Minecraft days where, you could barely see the game, you could barely see anything, have it cut out, lag out, but people still were there supporting me, and I thought that that was the coolest thing. But what really made me want to start streaming is to connect with people and when I've connected with people, I've found people like you. Like all of my friends really that I have right now are all throughout gaming, all throughout streaming, and finding other communities and everything like that. Like it's just throughout my entire life, like I've said, like this is probably the best thing I've done, but this is the best thing I've done for me personally.
That's great. That's actually really cool to hear. It's interesting. I think you're the first person I've spoken to who, within these interviews and also personally, where the family was really engaging them on getting involved with gaming, if only for their humor's sake, but also too just to
My
really get that kind of outlet.
my uncle showed me Mortal Kombat when I was 4 years old.
That's a great relationship right
It
there.
was fucking insane. I was like, what the hell is this? I freaking loved it. I was like sitting there. Of course, he probably let me win, but like, it was the coolest fucking thing that I had ever seen. Like, and like, I don't know, just like, it's gonna sound awful. Like, blood and gore was like so fucking cool to me. I played Gears of War, I played Halo, I played, what the hell is it called? Psy Girls, if you ever heard of it. Have you ever heard of Psy Girls?
I've heard of it once.
Oh my god, such a good game. Like Midnight Club, like I was just like introduced to like all those like little games. My mom took away Vice City from me because I would go on top of one of the mansions and use the Kraber and shoot off people's heads. And that was probably the start of everything with
Yes,
sniping.
Exactly. That's where the sniping came from. So, Kier, could you tell me what kind of expectations did you have when you began streaming? It sounds though your friend had thought you had some potential with this. What about you though? What expectations did you think you can get from engaging with Twitch?
Well, at first, I only started posting on Instagram. I was posting Fortnite clips and little montages and stuff, and then I decided to turn on, the little broadcast, and my expectation was nothing too serious, maybe a max of like a few people a day that by day that I did do it. Like, my expectations weren't high at all. I was just doing it for fun. I was doing it just so someone else could see my humor and someone else could see the humor that I could bring, like when I have people around me, just like this, just like the fun things. It's the fun things that I had like thought about when I started, just like looking back and laughing at the stupid shit that me and my friends would do, and like memories, really. I wanted to keep it all as just memories.
Well, that's good then.
Which it turns into towards while you're doing everything. Like you look into like the past clips that you have in the past, broadcasts that you have on Twitch, and you're like, oh, that was funny. Like you remember like the funny things. But
Well, I was gonna say, do you see much change in regards to when you started streaming between then and now, or do you think that you've pretty much held true?
I definitely take it a little seriously now, because I do potentially see if I did keep up with it at a higher rate, I would want to try to make it more than just a hobby. Because it is a hobby.
Yeah.
And it's a hobby that I think I'm all right at. Not like awesome, like I don't have like a huge ego boost about it, but I do think that I'm doing very well with when I do it. But I was averaging, when I first started, I was averaging around 5 viewers per stream until I got a webcam. And that says something.
Yeah.
Because of the whole thing with females and gaming and stuff like that. But the fact that I had no face cam and I was still holding 5 to 6 people per stream was really exciting to me, because then there was people who actually like didn't know what I looked like, didn't know anything about me, but enjoyed my gameplay and my humor, that I was like, all right, let's get this shit running. And here I am a year-ish later, and I say it's going pretty well.
That's
Whole
great.
ass computer instead of my airplane of a PlayStation.
Oh man, I want to ask you about something, and then if you're comfortable with answering this, that's great. If not, perfectly fine. Um, you did mention it, the idea of women in gaming, especially streaming. Uh, do you feel as that what kind of challenges do you feel as that you deal with in regards to that? And does it ever get to you? I guess would be the question.
um, well, I play Call of Duty a lot, and it's rated M for men. So, you get into a lobby, and I take no shit. Sometimes I say stuff, sometimes I don't, because it's just like not worth my time. It's not worth the energy, because that's how I feel about it. I'm just trying to play the game. I'm just trying to snipe. I'm just trying to kill people in the game. And this guy will come out and say like, "Oh, bitch, get back in the kitchen, like go make me a sandwich." And I ask them what they want on the sandwich, and then I kill them next round. Like, you know, it's super annoying for people, and not all men, because like there's a lot of guys out there who are super supportive while gaming and super nice and super cool, and not in like the weird way, even like just in like the genuine nice way, like, "Oh, good shot, like wow, you're good at this game," like type deal. There's like, it's so bothersome, because for me, you sit there, you know I get ready, I'm there. It takes me about 5 minutes to actually turn on my camera for stream. It takes me about 5 minutes to actually say something if I'm in a random lobby, if I'm all by myself in there. It takes me a long ass time, and then to turn on my camera, or to open up my mic and unmute myself, and just to hear like the from men, just like stupid stuff, from girls too, really, sometimes, but majority men, just like yelling at you and just saying that you're bad at the game, and then you getting to the top of the leaderboard and then they're quiet. I feel like that's the biggest struggle. There's people who will come into my chat and ask me gross stuff, and like I kind of call them out on it. I'm like, dude, that's really weird. Like like I'll like make a joke out of it, but in reality, it's not a joke, and it's not something to be like gross about. Like, I don't know. It's funny because you'll meet and talk to somebody in a game who will be like really, really nasty to you, and then start dissing women. And then something good to say is, "Do you talk to your mother like that?" And then they say, "Get so quiet."
Because they
Or they'll
don't.
come up with something like gross about your mother. And it's just but that would be like one of the biggest challenges. But a minor challenge for me personally, I always compare myself. And I might that might be a me thing, but I always sit there and I compare myself. I'm like, okay, well, if that person's doing this, then what am I doing wrong? But then you have to step back and figure out like who you are as a streamer, or a person at that, a gaming person, a gamer, a gamer. You have to figure out who you are as a gamer, streamer, whatever. And that's the type of people that you will attract into your community. And um if you're going to get the toxic people, then maybe like you need to like step yourself down a little bit. If you're going to get people who are like really almost like on your ass while you're gaming, like those are the type of people that you're going to attract to your community, I guess. So putting yourself out there how you want to put yourself out there is like a big struggle that I've dealt with. Yeah.
I think that's something. I think you're right on with it. I mean, the community is always following the leader.
Mhm.
So, if you're that person that is bringing about a toxic nature with those who are in your chats or in your discords or what have you, that might require some self-reflection if it's more than just one person. If it's a group of people or a majority. So no,
Mhm.
I agree with you entirely that sometimes there's some self-reflection needs to come about when it comes to this kind of thing.
And if you are attracting toxic people, which I do most of the time, um, there's one way to joke around with it, because toxicity can be taken in so many different ways. You can, be like, oh, you're bad at the game, or like other shit like that. I'd be like, oh, you're trash, like all this shit. And then you can like bring it back to them, and then you end up laughing about it, and you're like, oh, well, thank you for the follow, man, like I appreciate it. And then they like start like being nice to you, and then it's like you have to like make sure, almost like you almost have to like, it's gonna sound bad, but you almost have to like toy with the person and like make sure that they are kidding, and if they're not, they get the instant ban hammer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how it goes through, Instagram, Discord, Twitter, whatever the hell have you. Like, that's how I look at it, at least. And then
Yeah.
you'll meet really mean people. And mean people suck on games. Don't be mean. It's not fun. It doesn't make the game fun.
It does not make the game fun.
You're not getting paid
It's not
to be an
gonna,
asshole.
being mean in a game is not going to get you any more kills.
Dog. That was good.
So let me ask you this from your own experience. You said you started out with the PS4 streaming, and you moved out to streaming off a laptop, or streaming off a desktop. What kind of things, in your opinion, should streamers who are just getting started do before their first broadcast? Like what advice would you have for someone who is just thinking about hitting that live button for the first time?
Oh, well, if it's your first stream ever, you've obviously built up like this mindset that, like a bunch of people are going to come into your chat, like it's not going to happen like that. Like, I'm going to tell you straight up, like, it's not going to happen like that. Like, if you're not applying yourself, anything in life, really, but if you're not applying yourself to streaming, like if you're not posting on social media, if you're not trying to network outside of your friends, anything, if you're not networking yourself, you're not going to get results. And I struggle on that all the time. Like, I used to post on TikTok a lot. I don't get the TikTok traction anymore. I may have X amount of followers, but I don't post enough on there to gain that traction again. When I was consistently posting on TikTok, I would get higher average viewers. But you have to keep in mind that if you have one person in your chat, if you have 3 people in your chat, regardless of how many people you have in your chat, you should be damn grateful for those people, because they are legitimately sitting there holding a lurk, whatever. They're legitimately sitting there supporting you and watching you and have love for you enough to sit there. And that's the biggest thing to worry about and to think about. But if you're pressing your go live button for the first time ever, do not expect there to be double digits unless somebody raids you, which is awesome if someone does. But do not expect to hit high results until you're applying yourself everywhere. And that means posting on Instagram every once in a while, because Instagram's died down a lot for gaming, unfortunately, my opinion. Posting on Twitter, following people, looking up certain hashtags. I give this little talk to people a lot, and I have one girl, her name is also Taylor, not the same Taylor. I know a lot of Taylors. And I helped her start out streaming and like told her to make a Discord server and everything. And she's doing freaking amazing. She's like up there. Like, I'm like dead ass so proud of her. And I tell her like every day, I'm like, I knew you can make it because I knew you had potential. And I was the first person to really tell her, like, you need to keep doing this because you're going it. You're going somewhere with it. And yeah.
That's good. I mean,
I got some tips to the trade if anyone needs a little pep talk.
Hey, you know what though? It's always good. It's always good to see someone that's actually willing to give back to those who were in your shoes at some point, who are in your shoes where you were.
Of course, because I've sat there with 4 viewers at one point, and I did feel like a little like hurt about it. I've been doubtful of like things like that. I still get doubtful, but you know, those 4 people are there and they're there to support you and everything. Um, that brings me to something that I would like to say. If you are streaming and you have a pretty decent viewer count, you know, a good average viewing, like playing one game that you consistently play. Like I consistently play Call of Duty. When I go and stream something else, I don't get the same viewer count. But you have to remember that, let's say 300 followers. You have 300 followers. 100 followers follow you for Fortnite. Another 100 follow you for Call of Duty, and 25 people follow you for Minecraft or what the hell like whatever. You're not, if you stream something completely different from that, you're not going to get the same traction at all. And I've learned that because I also stream Valorant, and I don't get the same amount of viewers than I would if I turned on Call of Duty.
So what do you feel as though is the biggest misconception people may have of you as a streamer? And I think we may have touched on it slightly, but how do you deal with that misconception?
I think the biggest misconception that people have of me as a streamer is that I'm a little ragey girl. But I think I just get frustrated.
That's a misconception. I'm kidding.
I get so frustrated, dude. Games are frustrating. Shooters are very frustrating, especially, you know, like tracking back to like being like a girl on top of it, because then you're gonna get shit on even more when you like open your mouth.
Yeah.
So bothersome. But I think my biggest misconception is that I will yell at you in a game, but me and you played together, and was I yelling at you? No, I was yelling at the game.
Exactly.
Like, you just, but I'm really a sweet girl. I think I am. Yeah. I'm a really nice person. I'm really kind. And if you put a controller in my hands and I die 7 times, I am gonna get mad. Anybody would. Anybody would get pissed. Anybody would scream at, not scream. I mean, there is a few people who are, I bless you for keeping your cool when you die 7 times. When I die 7 times, nah, I'm all set. I'll leave. I'll turn everything off and I'll sit there. But then I collect myself and I'm like, all right, whatever. There's some days where I do not collect myself. Maybe everyone has a bad day. I'm not really that mean of a girl. I do get frustrated though.
I think I don't want to say rage, but frustration, I think, is probably the better term. I mean, everyone at some point does hit a little bit of a wall when it comes to a game, and sometimes, unfortunately, it's when they're streaming that tends to happen. And yeah, some self-reflection, you know, isn't the worst thing in the world. And as long as we realize that it's not all the time we're raging at a game, I don't think that's such a bad thing, honestly.
Most of some of my community has said, "Where's Ragey Kier? We miss her." And I'm like, I don't. And like, I'll yell at them. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I hate Ragey Kier. Ragey Kier she sucks. She's unattractive. Like, not like looks, but like, I feel like that's like such like an unattractive personality that I've been trying to push myself away from. And if you've been to my recent streams, you can notice that like, if I do get pissed, like, I'm just like, and I try to hold myself, and like no one knows, because like I have like, you know, like torso down, but like I'll like grab my pant leg and I'm like, you know what, don't scream. like you're trying to make a better image of yourself, because like it turns into almost like a small persona at that point. But like when you really get to know the streamer on like the outside of the stream itself, then you can see what kind of person they really are. And I feel like people forget that, because there are a lot of people who will put on a face for stream, you know, put on a fake smile, and then you don't really know what's going on behind that. And I feel like if you're really into watching a person play video games, then maybe get to know them, you know, maybe get to know what kind of person they are outside of it, and then see how they portray themselves there. Because some days, I'll be honest, I could be like sad all day, crying all day, like bitching and complaining and moaning all day. But I will put on my happy face because one, I don't want to be crying on stream. It's ridiculous. Two, I know that the people who come in are going to make me feel better.
Exactly.
There have been times where I've started stream when I've had a bad day and I've ended the night with a smile.
That's the way the community works for the streamer.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things I like to basically get an opinion on is the idea of burnout when it comes to streaming. I know that with games, if you could burn out, you can jump from one game to the next, basically just, be a little more versatile. But when it comes to never ever.
Not even once. Never closed the app in the middle of a stream and said, "All right, bye."
But streaming obviously is a one way track. So do you ever have concerns about burning out when it comes to streaming? And if you have, what do you do to deal with that?
Well, hell yeah. I've burnt out from streaming. It was like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I said I was going to stream every day for a week.
How long did that go?
I streamed like 4 days out of 7 days, which isn't awful, but it's not what
normal.
But it's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to stream every single day, but after every stream, I was tired. It gets tiring. My best friend came here from New York. She goes to school there. She came home, and I streamed with her. We streamed Mario Kart and we streamed Guitar Hero, and we had a blast doing it. But then she came back for Christmas-ish area. She sat next to me and I said, "Hey, like I'm planning on streaming tonight. I mean, I can cancel it if you want to just hang out." And she goes, "To be honest, Kier, I really don't want to stream." And I said, "Why?" And she goes, "Because it's tiring." And I was like, "Is it?" Because then that brings to okay, it can come naturally to a person, just to talk.
Yeah.
And it's really easy for me to talk. But whenever I feel like I'm burning out, I will take time off. I just took a week off of streaming last week. I think my first stream back was Tuesday of this week. And I said I was going to stream, Thursday? Never did. Because I still feel a little burnt out, like you need to take care of yourself before anything. And if your community will be there for you, then you got a solid ass set of people, because I came back the first day and I had all the same viewers that I had when I was streaming daily, and that makes me really happy. And I know that if I start to stream anytime after this, I feel more not an ego boost. I feel more well respected for that reason, because it's me taking time off to make sure that I'm not causing a scene and me being unhealthy to the people in my chat. I would never want to do that. So that's when I realized that I need to take time away from it. And when I took a week off, I didn't really take care of myself like I thought I would, but I did think of ways to calm myself down more and just overall kind of just take care of myself a little mentally, emotionally.
We need to do.
Sense. Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're all streamers as a whole, or basically they're self-employed when it comes to the idea of having to get that energy to stream, to basically put on that face. And you said before about how you spend 5 minutes basically just trying to get yourself ready to turn on the camera, and there's a lot that goes into that. I would think mentally. So
when I was streaming, I think it was May of last year, I was still employed, and I look back at those clips and I'm a bitch. I just looked at myself and I was like, damn, why am I such a little bitch? And it was because I wasn't taking care of myself. And then being unemployed sucks, I will tell you. But now that I am, it makes me feel like I have more time to connect and to be more like confident in what I'm saying and just more friendly, and it's not like, oh shit, now I gotta go to work. I mean, like, I'm not saying that like you should quit your job and like start streaming. Don't ever do that. But I quit for like personal reasons. But like just keeping like a friendly and more positive mindset when you're jumping on a camera, because you got to remember, you're online. Yeah. Anybody can see you.
Yeah.
Anybody can see you, and you got to make sure that you're, it's kind of like a first impression for everybody. It's not just a first impression to the people that have already been there. You keep that first impression going. Like, you got to just make sure that you're giving an impression that you're positive and happy, because people don't want to watch someone who's mean unless it's their like brand.
Unless their thing.
Yeah, unless it's their brand, that's completely different. But people don't want to watch someone who's mean and negative and fuck this, fuck that all the time. No one wants that. No. And I used to be like that, and when I look back again, it's just like, like I hate that. And once I stopped being like that, I noticed growth. And yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good to see.
And to keep my cool, I bought a lot of stuffed animals.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And a cargo net to hold them. Yes.
Aren't they so cute?
I just worry what might happen one day when you have a dream and all of a sudden they fall on you.
They are not set up well.
Yeah, I'm nervous.
I am very short, and I had to stand on my bed, and I think these were supposed to go somewhere. And there's a third hook, but I couldn't put it anywhere. So we have this one missing. So they're held up by two of these, and you imagine me like trying to like screw this in like the ceiling, me falling over my arm, getting tired, just like, oh. But now they're out of the way, but I still have all my friends here.
There you go.
The gang's all here.
So my last question for you, we're looking into the future now. Like you said, you've had fantastic growth ever since you started streaming, and especially ever since you've taken the risk of going, with the face cam, webcam in it. Where do you see the future for your brand, for your channel, for you as content creator, as a streamer, as a gamer? What do you see as prospects?
Well, everyone wants to gain followers. Everyone wants to gain a higher viewage. Everyone wants to, get noticed and everything. But one future goal that I have is by the end of this year, attempting to be partnered. That's, it's just a thought. But a real, like, without like, I guess we want to say like Twitch growth at that, or any like content growth, is just creating a whole community of people that are just hanging out. Like, I don't want people to come into my stream and think like, all right, here's a streamer. Do I gotta donate? Do I gotta do this? Because I feel like a lot of people like feel like that. And like, I've noticed it because I've jumped into just chatting streams. I check out other people, other girls at that. And, they got like, and I don't mean to say this in any way, but, they got like donation bars at the bottom. They got like this at the bottom, like one sub gives you my Snapchat, like weird shit like that. And I don't roll like that. Like if I'm streaming and I have, say, like 18 people chilling, we're chilling, like we're hanging out, we're talking. Like if you got to go do something, damn, I hope you come back because you're fun to talk to. Like my future goal is to just create a community of people that are all friends with each other, because times are really tough right now, especially, but in life times are tough. And you know, you need that support system. And if you need somebody, like, I'm always here, like, you know, like, or that person's always there. And like, you met that person from me at that, like, kind of like thought. And I think that's super freaking cool. You know, like, I've had people, freaks me out. I've had people who have joined my chat and both of them have talked and they're now like best friends and they play with each other all the time, you know. And I've had people come into a few like two of my mods, actually three of my mods, Twitch mod and Discord mods, who have said, if I never joined your stream that night, I wouldn't be here. If I never joined that Valorant game, I would not know about any of this. You know, like, I was playing Search and Destroy like at, I don't know, it was like 7 a.m. Couldn't sleep, fucking around. I met this one person and he brought his girlfriend into the server, and then his girlfriend became good friends with me, and like now she's one of like my really good friends. And it's just like crazy to think like that. And I don't know, like, I had the same person who found me through Valorant. He was like, you've inspired me to start streaming. And I was like, shut up, there's no way. No. You know, like, I've had people message me and go like I love watching you, like when are you coming back? And this was the week prior that like I wasn't streaming, and like people like genuinely missed me, and it made me cry. Like some days when, like, you know, even if I'm having a good day, bad day, I will start to cry, happy tears.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? These people are here to watch me, and I love it. And I don't think people know that, like, at all. I don't think people know that. And you know, there's been times where I've cried on stream and like just like I'm so grateful for all of you, like, head ass, like and it's so cool. Like, if I never joined Team Pyramid, I wouldn't have ever met you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Great. And like, that goes for a lot of freaking people too. A lot of people.
It's fantastic.
I hate a lot of people, but a lot of people are really cool.
Well, we're always gonna, you know, have our balance. So, well, Kier, well, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to me. It's been great. It's been great knowing you so far, and I wish you all the best when it comes to your growth. When it comes to what happens with you in the future, and the cargo net full of stuffed animals not falling on your head.
They probably will.
I hope it doesn't hurt too much.
I feel like someone's gonna slam the front door and they're just gonna topple.
Hopefully not. I will be leaving Kiernolabarz's social links for her Instagram, as well as her Twitter and gaming links in the description for this. One thank you for everyone who came by to watch this. If you like, please feel free to leave a thumbs up. Feel free to leave a comment. If you want to sub, feel free to do that as well. Looking forward to seeing everyone in the next episode of Go Live Lounge. Once again, my name is Gurdybot, and thank you again for watching, and have a pleasant day.
Bye.